Studying is challenging. It doesn't matter if you're a veteran student trying to become a PhD or a high school student. Finding ways to stay focused on studies is something every student has sought to know at some point. Even if your main difficulty is getting rid of social media, stopping procrastination, managing your time better, or a combination of all three, there are several tools and techniques that can help reduce the stress of studying and keep you focused on what matters most. And I'm going to show you 7 strategies to force you to focus on your studies, even when you have zero motivation. Find a suitable location. Finding the best place to study is an essential part of success in studies. For some, the silence of a library is ideal, but for others, an environment filled with conversations, calm music, and the smell of coffee in a cafe might be the best option. But you can also choose a place inside your own home. Most people do this, and it usually works well. But it's important that this environment has certain features, like a clean desk that's large enough to accommodate all your study materials, including your laptop if you have one. A comfortable chair that allows you to sit for hours without feeling completely broken afterward. Although not everyone can afford to buy one, it's an excellent investment for those who can. But even if you can't afford it, you can try to make your chair as comfortable as possible by adding some cushions at strategic points, for example. The most important thing is that you maintain good posture, as studies show that sitting upright increases energy, confidence, and even focus. On the other hand, sitting with a very relaxed posture, with drooping shoulders and curved back, makes you more predisposed to feeling unmotivated, tired, and unfocused more quickly. Establish a ritual. When we talk about staying focused during study, it's important to create a routine to help you enter the state of focus you need. A good way to start is by having a ritual before beginning to study. For example, you can opt for things like cleaning your desk, telling people in your environment not to disturb you, and closing the door. Gathering all the materials you'll use. Making a list of tasks and your goal for the day. Preparing your music playlist, meditating, or stretching. All of this so that when you start studying, your mind is already prepared for what will come next, and the environment is conducive to providing maximum focus and free from distractions. When you establish a ritual before starting an activity and make it become a habit, your brain transitions from one state to another much more easily. So no matter how much stress or euphoria you've experienced moments before starting to study, when you begin your ritual, your brain says, "Oh, I know he's going to study after this, so I'll get rid of so many thoughts and concentrate only on the studies." Turn off your phone or disable notifications. Whenever the subject is having focus to avoid procrastination, the cell phone comes into play. I think there's nothing else that spends more time near us than it. So it's important to emphasize that if you don't turn it off or disable all of its notifications, it will disturb you. Everyone has caught themselves losing dozens of minutes or perhaps hours scrolling through Facebook or Instagram timeline. This is because these apps were made to be irresistible. Sometimes willpower alone is not enough. Just as a person with food compulsion cannot have junk food in the refrigerator, you cannot afford to have all your apps firing notifications at you all the time during your studies and think you will resist temptation. And there's more. Studies show that on average it takes 23 minutes to recover the same focus we were in seconds before being interrupted. Use the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique is perfect for dividing your study into intelligently timed blocks. It's simple. Choose the task you'll work on, set the alarm for 25 minutes, and work during that period completely focused. When the alarm goes off, take a 5-minute break and then return to work for another 25 minutes. After 4 25-minute blocks, take a 30-minute break and start over. This helps a lot to avoid entering that typical state of stress after several consecutive hours of study without rest. Find the best tools. The act of studying seems very simple. Just sit down, open your notebook or laptop, and start studying for hours and hours. But although it seems simple, it's not easy, because if it were, no one would have problems with it. So to contribute to your focus and organization, I'll list some very useful apps that you may not know. For organization, there's Todoist, which is a task manager app that allows you to simplify your tasks, goals, and projects into organized lists. With it, you can easily divide big projects into small, totally manageable tasks, share task lists with other people, and still have a clear view of how your progress and productivity have increased. There's also Trello, which is an extremely versatile list project management tool that can be adjusted according to the user's needs. You can use it to organize your work tasks, your study priorities, among many others. At a glance, Trello informs what is being worked on, who is working on what, and where something is in a process. To help with concentration, there are tools like Brain.fm, which is an online tool that uses the capacity of music to influence your mental state. According to research, the composer of the artificial music on this site uses auditory rhythms that have been proven to help concentrate, meditate, and even sleep better. Besides that, I recommend Coffeetivity, which is basically a very simple website where you just hit play and you'll be teleported inside a coffee shop. For those who like it, it's a great option. I've seen people saying they can even smell the coffee while listening. Reward yourself a few times a day. Studying is a task that doesn't please the desires of our brain. No one feels enthusiastic about studying, and it doesn't generate any peak of dopamine and endorphins, which are chemicals that our brain produces to give us pleasure and a sense of well-being. When you do something fun, your brain rewards you in this way. However, when studying, this doesn't happen. Yet, your brain is still thirsty for something fun. It's at these times that people end up playing video games or watching funny videos on YouTube for hours and hours. To prevent this from happening, you can plan to do some things you enjoy as a reward at the end of each study session, for example. But use common sense and do it with caution. This should only serve as an escape valve and one more reason for you to meet your daily study goals. Practice physical exercises regularly. It's hard to talk about human performance without mentioning the importance of physical exercises. Our body wasn't made to sit studying all day.
Our physiology was shaped in that era where things weren't as easy as they are today. You needed to run from predators and spend almost the whole day moving in search of food and survival in general. Research shows that in the short term, physical exercises improve your ability to concentrate on a task for 2 to 3 consecutive hours. This is due to the fact that it increases blood flow to the brain, which makes you more alert. I hope these strategies help you increase your focus on studies.
If it still doesn't work, you always have the option to discipline yourself. Do what needs to be done even if it's uncomfortable, because in the end, it will always be worth it. If this video helped you, don't forget to leave your like, share with those who need it, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell to receive notifications of new videos every week. See you in the next video.